There we go. All right, here we go. Welcome to Mindset Bytes. I am Mighty Mindset Coach. Did you guys know 3 out of 10 American households are uninsured, and 6 out of 10 consumers can't remember being offered to buy life insurance? Well, you guys are in a treat for today. We have Jonathan with New York Life Financial Services. But before that, I'd like to introduce myself. Again, my name is Miley with Miley Mindset Coach. This is Mindset Bytes, a platform that showcases leading entrepreneurs. And I really like to dig deep inside of their mindset and how they really convey their mindset through their services or products. So let's bring Jonathan on. Jonathan, welcome. Welcome.
Hi, Miley.
All right. Hello. All right. So, Jonathan, tell the audience. Oh, before that, if you guys are watching us live, hashtag live. If you're watching us on the replay, hashtag replay. Let us know if you guys have any questions. Feel free to drop that in the comments, and we will try to address them as we go. If not, Jonathan or myself will make sure to comment or answer your comment later on tonight. But let's go on to Jonathan. Welcome, Jonathan. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
How's it going, everybody? Like I said, my name is Jonathan Espinoza. I am with New York Life. Been with New York Life for about a year now. Prior to that, I was with Classic Beverage, where I was able to meet and learn from this beautiful woman we have here, Miley. Thank you for providing this platform and allowing individuals like us to speak to another and to help each other grow. Other than that, there's not much more about me other than I just really like to be able to be a positive influence on everybody I meet's life and to teach them the value that I could bring to them and hopefully see the value that they bring to me so we could always enter in mutual beneficial relationships.
Awesome. So, I mean, you're not even tooting your horn. You are one of the top 5 leaders in I'm not sure if it's your region area for February. That's amazing. Like, that's a huge feat because, I mean, you haven't had that much experience in the field, and the momentum you've created, I think that's phenomenal and has to be shared.
Yeah, thank you. It was a tremendous accomplishment, but like any person who does well, that was last month, and I'm focused on tomorrow and what's ahead of me. I can't live in the past, and although I'm very proud of myself for what I have accomplished, it's only the beginning. And again, the only thing that matters is what happens tomorrow. So I'm just grateful that I've been able to learn as much as possible, be introduced to people that I've been able to help and educate them. And ultimately, my success is owed to all my clients, trusting in me that I'm providing them with the knowledge that's going to put them in better situations.
Awesome. So Jonathan did lead to how we kind of known each other. So the Jonathan I met when I was in Classic is totally not the Jonathan you see before you guys. So you guys are in a treat. Hopefully I don't embarrass Jonathan, but so we both work at Classic Beverage Company, and Jonathan came in and he was like, "You're a bartender, right? Ex-bartender." And he's like, "I know everything and, don't have time for, I know what you want, this is what you need," kind of mindset. And to see that, I mean, just for the few minutes that are on, his mindset has totally shifted where he's not telling his customers what they need, but really educating them and pouring his passion in his services rather than, being the Jonathan that I knew. So it's a phenomenal transformation and something I think the audience truly needs to understand where your mindset was before New York Life was and how that transformation came. And because you're a different person and people who know you from before to now can see it. But if you guys are viewing, because you guys are viewing, we want to know who you are, where you're tuning in from. Send some love Jonathan's way. #live. We want to shout out your name and any questions. Again, let us know. So Jonathan, tell us.
What am I telling you? I'm sorry.
Tell us about your transformation. Clearly, Jonathan doesn't get praise very often.
Yeah, no, I really don't. I mean, I praise myself every day, right? Always got to pat yourself on the back. But no, as far as my transformation, all started with, the audience doesn't know this, but it started with a conversation that I had with you, and you recognized that I was unhappy with Classic, and I was doing well with the job, but ultimately I really wasn't happy, and I couldn't put my all into it because to me there was no longevity. I didn't see myself moving up into management, and even the managers above us who I respected, I would see them get screwed over and not even be praised off of the good work that I know that they were doing. And to see that, it wasn't, it just didn't line up with what I wanted for myself. So given that, you sparked the interest in me. You're like, Jonathan, what do you want to do? I see you're unhappy, and I didn't know, but you had gave me some options. Like maybe you should get into, life insurance. That's something that I had previous experience with, you, and you said that you thought it might be a career path that might work for me. So I went with that, and I was introduced to a mutual friend of ours, Michelle, and she enlightened me as far as what I needed to do to get started. And so I went with that. And once I started on figuring out what I wanted to do with myself, and I started learning the industry, I found out just how passionate I could actually be about something. And it wasn't with financial services. It wasn't, helping people with their finances. And that's well and good, but it was just helping people. I finally felt that I had value. Me, Jonathan Espinoza, I had value, and that the interactions I make with people, I was able to put them in a better position. And also, these people are able to put me in better positions because I talk to people all day, every day. It's a necessity in my career. And being able to talk to everybody and anybody on a daily basis is the best thing anybody could do, because we all have a story and we all have something to share with another. And I love talking to people. I just love hearing what's their whys and what makes them do the things that they do, and what are their goals and aspirations, and what are the things that are beneficial to them.
Awesome. I want to show this. I don't know if you could see this, Jonathan, but your sister's watching. She's super proud of you. You hit it on the nail that you're amazing, and the passion. She sees the passion in your growth. That's amazing. Thank you, Raquel, for sharing that. Are you tearing up, Jonathan? Awesome.
A little bit. No, I mean, we don't get to do stuff like this. It's nice to be recognized. And again, like you said, where did this growth start from? Like I said, it feels good to grow as a person. It really does. For a long time, I felt lost. And now I finally feel that I know where my life's going. And I don't know what's around the corner, but I know that I'm on the right path. And I know that everything has a reason. Everything in life, when I go back to why I met our friend Carlos, rest in peace to him. He got me the job at Classic, and I met you through Classic, and you introduced me to Michelle. So again, all these things in our lives add up. And if we recognize them, we're able to capitalize on them as far as our growth and recognizing our potential and whatever it is that we want to do as people.
Right. So having that in mind, so what is, I'm not sure if you do New Year's resolutions or mottos or word of the year. What does that look like for you? What's your New Year's resolution or motto? Or we could table that to the end.
Right? I mean, New Year's resolution, people. People tend to, yeah, exactly. We'll figure it out.
Okay, well, I'll ask that a question. Keep that in mind because I think I have kind of where you're going with it. But hey, Alvin, thanks for joining us. All right, so I did a couple research, and I did mention this when we first came on, but I think the life insurance, like 3 out of 10 American households are uninsured, and 6 to 10 consumers can't even remember the last time they were even offered or educated about life insurance. Um, like those numbers really astound me because I mean I'm probably one of them that when we were offered that in class, like I'm like, what do I need that for? And like what do you see out there in your environment as far as the families you meet, the people you meet? Like, is there something lacking? Like, why is there such a disconnect in life insurance?
I think it all just comes down to we weren't educated on this in school, or at least in most public schools. I know I wasn't, unless maybe you signed up for a particular class, like a finance class in high school or something, if you had that opportunity. Um, so again, it's just education. The system did provide us with this education, so it's something that we have to go out and look for ourselves. And then also, when you're going out to look for things yourselves, it's hard to trust people. It's hard to
Mhm.
trust that the information they're giving you is accurate and it's in your best interest, because we are trained to kind of be non-trusting and to be on alert. And somebody's always out to get us. And how can somebody actually be looking out for my best interest in as far as like what do I need? So I
Mhm.
think these are just things that, and also in regards to like life insurance, I mean, it's not a topic that people want to talk about, right? It involves death.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to
Yeah.
talk about the what ifs. My mom dies. What if I die? What if my husband dies? That's a hard conversation to ask. And again, people don't like being uncomfortable. And these are conversations that end up being uncomfortable, but they are necessary.
Right, right, right. So I looked a couple things up. I like you mentioned two of the cons that why people don't get life insurance is because it's not one of their priorities and they just lack resources. So I mean that's you hit it on the nail. But and then the two pros that I found that people the reasons why they purchase life insurance are burial expenses, like you said, and it's an income replacement. So I thought that was pretty insightful for the two pros and cons. So kind of walk us through the process. So if I like, what is your process when you meet an individual or family? How do you kind of introduce and educate? What's the Jonathan Espinoza flair for life insurance?
Well, well, with financial services, we always start from the beginning, and everything starts with a budget, right? So
Mhm.
we have to know, we have to get on this financial diet and understanding how much money do we have coming in on a monthly basis. What are those funds allocated towards, and where is that money well served? Um, Once we do that, we start with risk management and understanding all the things that can affect our financial health. So things like health insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, emergency savings accounts, wills and trusts, and go over all the things that can potentially hurt our finances to figure out what are the gaps. So, do you
Mhm.
have health insurance? Great. But what about disability insurance? If you become disabled and you can't work, well, SDI is about 60% of your income, but how are you going to get the extra 40%? And then we move into that life insurance concept as far as, trying to figure out your quote unquote human value. Like, what is Miley worth? Well,
Mhm.
Miley's priceless. We all know that, right?
Mhm.
But if you're, if my if Miley makes $100,000 a year and Miley's gonna work for 30 years, then Miley's human value is about $3 million, because that's how much you would produce as if you were a machine. So that's how we could kind of calculate your human value as far as how to estimate how much life insurance you need. And it
Mhm.
and also going in over any debts that you have. If God forbid you were to pass away, what's the biggest debt that most people have? Their mortgage. So maybe the
Mhm.
life insurance is just enough to cover the mortgage, so that way your family doesn't lose the home and the kids have to be disrupted and move somewhere else, change schools and things of that. So there's tons of things. And again, it's all about budget and figuring out what's most important to you and what do we need to compensate for.
Right. Awesome. I think, I mean, you helped me because I was looking, because I have term insurance, and I was looking to do full time. And I think a a typical life insurance person would sell me something that I couldn't afford, that didn't cover anything. But the type of service that Jonathan truly provides is, he said, look, do you have term insurance for yourself, but what about your kids? And I thought the not transition, but the looking outside, like covering all my bases and making sure that my kids have some sort of, um, money coming in after they're 18. I thought that, like, the education part that you shared with me and my husband, I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that existed, that they can have a life insurance all the way to their 18, and then they can decide, what to do with that. I think that was, not every life insurance would share that. They would be like, let's put you in something and kind of stuff you into a box for what you said. But, for our audience, that's kind of, that's the service that Jonathan shared with me. So, keep that in mind. He truly looks at of your household and leverages what you need at that time. All right. So what you kind of what's the struggle that you see in the industry today? Hi, Yancy.
The struggle, the biggest struggle I could see is more so is the apprehensiveness of the clients, and whether or not they're ready to make that step to meet their financial goals, whether it's their life insurance or whether it's trying to figure out what's the shortfall for planning for the retirement. Because again, these are things that are in the future. Hopefully your death is so far away, and then so you're not really thinking about that, and retirement, like, wow, that's far away, and you push it off. So the biggest thing is maybe just having people feel the necessity of how important it is to pull the trigger and get into these to start a plan to better their situation. So again, these things aren't, especially with life insurance, it's not tangible, right? It's not, I could show you a shiny car and say, hey, Molly, you want this car? And you're gonna be like, yeah, okay, because I get to drive around this car. You can't drive around in your life insurance policy, right? Now, that being said, there's some really cool things you can do with your own life insurance policy, and in regards to the cash value that can grow up in a permanent policy. And that's another conversation we can have another time. Because again, a lot of people think that life insurance is a matter of you pay a bill, you live, you die, somebody gets money. And although it is that, it's a vessel to do so many other things, and really to be your own bank, plan for, help hedge against your retirement accounts. Again, a lot of cool things that you can do depending on your situation. So again, it just comes down to the education and being able to kind of knock your client on your head and say, this is important, you need to do this, and allow them to understand you.
Right. So shifting their mindset and seeing that it's not just a regular, like, bill that you're paying, that there is an outcome that their family or their legacy. To me, the way that shifted when I'm like, okay, do I really need life insurance, was understanding that it's not necessarily for me, but it's for the legacy that I leave my family when that one time comes, that I can leave them a legacy, whether it's monetary or whatever my assets are at the time. So that's kind of my interpretation, or my mind shift when it comes to life insurance. So let's talk about pandemic, right? So the pandemic came and there's a surge in life insurance. Was, like, did you see any of that? Did that help the industry, or did that just kind of saturate it because they did, do you have any talking points on that?
Yeah, it was a great opportunity to show people just how important this is. Because in the beginning of the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic, mind you, everybody was scared. We didn't know
Mm-hmm.
what this was. It was doomsday. There was no toilet paper. And what if it was so bad that everybody was going to drop dead? You're the sole breadwinner of your family. And what if it wasn't even possible to get life insurance if you didn't have it already? And there's this crazy
Mm-hmm.
pandemic that your family could potentially struggle. So yes, it helped out a lot. And then even with the stock market, with the stock market correcting earlier last March, a lot more people became more mindful of their retirement accounts with their 401ks, and seeing the
Mm-hmm.
volatility in the stock market and saying, man, can I really afford the volatility if I'm so close to retirement, and all these other things. So it made people more conscious of their finances for sure. And again, when it comes to things like life insurance or your retirement accounts, these are things that are connected with your company. So in the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs or got furloughed. So if you lost your job,
Mm-hmm.
guess what you also lost? You lost all the benefits that came with your company. So if you had life insurance with your company and you always told the whatever person in your life,
Right.
because we all know them, we all know a Jonathan out there who provides life insurance, but you're always like, no, I have it through work. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
you only have it as long as you're employed with that job. And even though you have it, it's probably not even enough. So if you lose your job, now you lost
Right.
that and now you have to go get it. Versus if you just got it on your own, you're gonna save
Mm.
yourself a lot of money and you're never gonna have to worry about losing it or not losing it. So yes, pandemic helped a lot of people just hone in on their finances and again prepare for later. Because again, now people understand the value of having an emergency savings account. Why do I need an emergency savings account? Well, you might get hurt and you can't work, or the world might shut down, and you might need an emergency savings account.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, we can't rely on the government because even though people were getting, unemployment, there was a time I know people who weren't getting any unemployment because they weren't approving it. They were just backlogged,
Mm.
and people couldn't. We're going 4 or 5 months. You would see people on the news. They're like, I haven't got my benefits, and I paid into this, but how can I'm not getting my unemployment? So we can't leave
Right.
things in the hands of other people. We have to take charge of ourselves and understand what we have to prepare for the future in any situation.
Awesome. Awesome. So we actually have a question. Alvin asks, how much of your income should you set aside for life insurance?
That's a hard question. It all depends on how much life insurance do you think you need, whether that life insurance is going to be term, if that works out for you. And term just meaning you can rent it. So it could be 10, 20 years. And once that 10, 20 years is up, that's it, goodbye. Or if it's something that's permanent that you have forever. So there's a lot of different things that go into it. But again, it's all on what you want out of it. So I would love to schedule a meeting with Alvin and we could dive deeper into your needs and see what works best for you.
Awesome. All right. So, oh wow, let's go about that. So, what is? I mean, we've talked about huge spectrums, and I mean, we could talk about life insurance or just preparedness for hours. I'm sure coming from you. But
Yeah.
what
Me on
what
anything. I'm a
is
talker.
like?
So
Yeah, we could have like a whole day worth of information. So Alvin says awesome. He'll make sure that he'll be in the comments, Jonathan. So we'll make sure you guys get connected. But what is maybe like your top 2, 3 takeaways that you want to leave with the audience to start them to change their mindset of how, if they even think about life insurance, like what are let's do the three things that they should start at least identifying or in their life or whatnot about their situation as far as whether or not having insurance, their mindset about insurance.
well, as far as the mindset, it's like if you plan on owning a home, if you plan on getting married, if you plan on having kids, if you plan on owning a business, if you plan on dying, you're gonna need life insurance at some point, right? That being said, life insurance is least expensive when you're young and when you're healthy. So if you don't have any, you're looking to get it, just get something rather than nothing. You can always raise it later. You can always pay more. But what you can never do, you can never change your health. You can never change your age. So the best thing to do is just get it while you're young and healthy, and lock in your age and health, and again, and just look at what you need to protect in the future.
Awesome. All right, so let's.
And then I'd also say, in regards to everything else.
Yeah. And what regards for what? Sorry, cut out.
Oh, just in regards to just anything, just no matter what it is in life, just plan ahead. You gotta focus on planning ahead too. Again, everybody looks for the now, and it's okay to live for today, but we really have to look at what do we want our futures to look like, and what are the daily habits and the daily things that we need to concentrate on to ensure that we have better futures for ourselves, for our family, friends, whoever. And that goes with finances, and that goes with health, and anything we do in life. It's just plan for the future.
Awesome. All right. And so where can people find you, Jonathan? Social media tags? Are you on Facebook, IG? We'll make sure that you put it in the comments, but I just want you to put it out there where they can find you.
Yeah, my Instagram handle is at Your Money Man Jonathan, just like it sounds, Your Money Man Jonathan. I also have a link on my Facebook that leads to my business page, and then on my business page, there is another link that will lead to my company website and my page within my company website.
Awesome. All right, and let's roundabout. So have you thought about what your mindset or your New Year's resolution, whatever you want to call it, what is your 2021 motto, mantra?
Mantra is, again, just do your daily habits. One of my favorite books was the Four Agreements, and it was given to me, and maybe even you, by Manny Gutierrez at Classic. And one of the last agreements was just try your best. If at the end of the day, and you put your head on your pillow and you analyze your day and you ask yourself, was I the best Jonathan today? Was I the best Miley? Was I the best mom? Was I the best dad? Was I the best brother, sister, friend? And if you could answer yes to all those questions, you're going to have the best sleep, because you're going to feel like you did everything in your power to have a good day. And even if you didn't, tomorrow's another day to just try your best. So every day I'm just being conscious of trying my best to reach my goals. And even in regards to my goals, it's just concentrating on the daily habits that are going to get me to my goals, right? If I want to lose 20 pounds, I know what I need to do. I need a diet, and just making sure that I'm consistent with those daily habits.
Right. Awesome. Like it. All right. So a couple takeaways that I get is, so the top reasons to definitely look into life insurance is obviously the most common ones, burial expenses, but also income replacement. And truly just thinking about the legacy you want to leave your family is a huge thing, that if you have a house, any assets that you need to keep in mind. And we know the person to talk to. The other takeaway is that Jonathan is, he inspires me because he has come a long way and shows growth and passion in life insurance, or passion in something in a service that he didn't even see. So that's amazing. And seeing that, a job that doesn't have fulfillment versus a job that has fulfillment is no longer just a job, but it's a passion. So those are my takeaways for today. If you guys have any questions, welcome Abby, welcome Jen, welcome Sparkles. And if you guys have any questions, we'll stay on for a couple minutes. Jonathan will answer any questions. If not, we'll catch it on later, but leave it in the comments. Hashtag replay again if you're catching us on the replay. If you want to talk life insurance with Jonathan, he will also leave his links in the comments. and hashtag Jonathan if you want him to directly DM you. And anything else that you want to leave with the audience for tonight before we give them some time to think for questions? If not,
no, just be good to each other. That's it. Just be good to each other. Reach out, especially right now. Especially right now. Just reach out to people. It's a good time to reconnect.
Awesome. Like it. All right. If there's no any further questions, thank you, Jonathan. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, but I'm honored to interview you and see so much growth in you. And thank you for your viewers for tuning in tonight. And we will catch you on next Sunday with Mindset Bytes. And that's it. We'll say goodnight to Jonathan and to the audience. And catch you later. Bye.